got it at the stadium when I first signed. One of the big league guys gave me one of their bats to take back to the GCL, the Rookie Ball League. And the handle I use is similar to the aluminum bat handle. And I was comfortable with that because I was a high school kid and I was just finished swinging an aluminum bat. So I was like, this feels pretty good, feels pretty balanced, this familiar handle. And I was like, I'm gonna ride this out for a while and see how it goes. And I liked it. I was always hitting well with it, and I really never tried anything else. But yeah, it's like the peace of mind of not having to worry about, do I like this model? Do I not? Like, should I try a different one? It's like it just eliminates something to worry about for me. So I'm just like, all right, this is what I roll with. I've had good years with it. I like using it, and I'm just going to use that one probably till the end of my career.
I like the top heaviness. I like to feel. In my first big league spring training in 2016. Yeah, 2016. I accidentally ordered it uncupped, and I actually fell in love with it that spring training. So I've been swinging the same bat ever since. But I just like how it's top heavier.
That's exactly the kind of story I was expecting, by the way.
The old wrong text to the clubby turns out to like the bat.
Yeah, not shocking at all. Kind of. We weren't as good as friends then. Like we texted a little bit after he robbed me of my homer. That was only like our only text exchange until probably after I got hurt. Then we texted a little bit, and then ended up kicking it in Arizona a few times, and kind of been homies ever since.
And in Malibu. Malibu.
But we were doing a lot of stuff together that year just for being in the MVP race, and we both got out of the gates pretty strong in April, and it was just like back and forth the entire year, and guy never faded. I thought this guy was gonna fade.
I definitely did fall off a little bit, that's for sure. I was grinding. It was awesome. It was pretty crazy. We played in front of fans for the first time in the NLCS against Atlanta. Probably about 25% capacity, but it felt like a sellout crowd just because it's been so quiet all year. So it was amazing, man. The playoffs, no matter what, is a grind. So to come out on top it's the best feeling ever. Probably the most recent one in Game 7 against Atlanta. I would say that's probably the biggest one I've ever hit.
There were some cool ones in 18, like the last series of the regular season when we were trying to run down the Cubs, and we had like sellout ballparks in Milwaukee, and it was just super loud and great atmosphere. That one was pretty awesome. I think the Game 7 one in the NLCS against them was pretty cool.
My biggest thing that I've always said when people ask me that question is, like, I was always really, really small. I was always short. And then my sophomore and junior year of high school, I had a growth spurt. I ended up, being really tall. But then I was really skinny. So I was never, like, the biggest guy on the field by any means. So I've always just told those kids, just work on your craft. I'm starting to, like, have weight stick on me for the first time. But I just say let your abilities take over as opposed to the size, because a lot of guys were bigger than me that kind of fizzled out at the end.
Like, a lot of young guys are pretty result oriented. Like, they want, if they got to get a hit or they suck, or I think that applies more to you, like, in the mind when you're older, a little older, like high school, minor leagues, even young in the big leagues. Like, it's pretty result oriented, where you just, like, you don't care what it is, like, you just want to hit, rather than, like, trusting your process. Like, okay, I'm swinging at strikes, I'm making good contact, I've got a good approach, but I lined out. Like, who cares? Like, if you stick with that through the entire year, then by the end of the season, you're gonna have favorable results. Like, your numbers and stuff will be there if you just stick with that approach. You don't want to be chasing balls out of the zone, swinging and missing the balls in the zone, like making weak contact, like that's when you get in trouble. So I like to focus more on that instead of thinking about results, I guess you could say. I don't know. I got to talk with Barry. That was a pretty good one. I had him as a hitting coach, so that, I feel like that's a pretty good one to have. I don't know. I've been pretty fortunate to play with or be coached with some pretty good players. I was Ichiro, Barry, maybe like Mickey Mantle or somebody. He seemed like a cool guy. He'd have some good stories.
My two are always Ken Griffey Jr. and Barry Bonds. Hearing those guys talk about what they did would be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, Griffey. I got to throw Griffey in there too. I forgot.
Yeah,
about that.
You have to.
That's a good one. Yeah, especially being lefty. Like you just like.
I wonder what he thought. That'd be crazy.
Probably nothing. Like I'm gonna go deep. Yeah, I'll just ride out with the same bat sometimes for a little while, or if I suck with a bat, I'll give it to like a kid in the stands and be like, "Here, man, but don't ever use it in a game ever."
It's got no hits in it.
Yeah, and go to a new one or get rid of some batting gloves. That's about the craziest or the most superstitious I'll get.